ga re ga ga ma ma pa ma ga re ga re. Basic framework, and how the composers play with it, play with the structure. If there is a structure, you can go around it. You can start your music before the beat, after the beat, elongate certain portions, shorten certain portions, make it stylish and make it more enjoyable, because the audience then feels a thrill to listen to these change of patterns. Hello everyone, I welcome you back to another episode of Did You Know Facts About Indian Classical Music. This is the Music Foundation India channel and I am Dr. Sanghamitra Acharya. I bring you interesting videos every Friday on Did You Know Facts About Indian Classical Music, that is, little known aspects about Indian music, and that too Hindustani music that makes it such a beautiful performing art of our country. In today's episode, maybe you all have guessed because the rhythm is already playing, I'm going to talk to you about the use of rhythm in our music. This is a fundamental element of musical expression, or in ICM, in Indian classical music, rhythm forms a fundamental part in the compositions. This is in order to give the musical compositions a structure or a framework. To give it a coherence, we need to have an organization of time. If we don't follow a time pattern, the musical phrases just go all over the place. There is no binding, there is no coherence. So in order to give them a framework, in order to make them more enjoyable, and in order to give them a synthesis, we use rhythm or tala. And how that works, let me explain a little bit by giving you a small example. Say for example, we are learning simple phrases in a simple rag. Sa re ga ma ga ma pa ma ga re ga sa re sa re pa ma ga ma dha ma pa ga ma re ga sa ga re ga sa re sa. Now instead of saying like this, let me set it to the rhythm that is playing, and you can delve for yourself, you can decide whether it's interesting or not. Sa sa re ga ma ga re sa sa re ga ma ga re ni ni sa re ga sa re sa ni ni sa re ga sa re sa ga re ga ma pa ma ga re ga ma pa ma ga re ni ni sa re ga sa re sa ni ni sa re ga sa re sa. So this rhythm gives us a pleasurable feeling, gives us a very enjoyable sense of music when it is added to the musical structure. Just imagine there is a building and there are no pillars. So how will the mason put together the bricks? The bricks are the creative patterns. The bricks will form the entire building. They will make the beautiful structure. They are the melodic patterns. But if there are no pillars, if there is no structural framework, there is no shape to the entire building. And that's the role the rhythm plays in our music. It gives it a structure, a shape, a framework, and a very enjoyable experience. And within this rhythm, what happens is the music, the composers or the musicians, they can create various aspects which makes the denoting of an emotion very easy. It's a compliant form of denoting an emotion, because the use of rhythmic structures will enhance the feeling in a certain way. Let me give you an example so that it makes it easier for you to understand. Now say I'm saying it simple. Sa sa re ga ma ga re sa sa re ga ma ga re. Now see how I'm playing with the rhythm. Sa sa re ga ma ri ga ma ma ga ga re ni ni sa re ga sa re sa ni ni sa re 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 ga sa sa re sa ga re ga ga ma pa ma ga re ga 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 ma ma pa ma ga re, basic framework, and how the composers play with it, play with the structure. If there is a structure, you can go around it, you can start your music before the beat, after the beat, elongate certain portions, shorten certain portions, make it stylish and make it more enjoyable, because the audience then feels a thrill to listen to these change of patterns. Sa re ga ga ma ma ga ga re re ga ga ma ma pa ma ga re ga ma pa da da pa ma da pa ga pa ma re ma ma da da pa pa ni ni sa da ma da ma pa ga pa ga ma ga re ga ma pa ma ga re ni da ni re ga re sa 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 re ga pa da ma da pa ma ga ga re sa re ni sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma ga re ni ni sa sa re ga sa re sa. So this was a very tiny example how the composers play around the structural form, because there is a time cycle playing. The time cycle is divided into units, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Sometimes the cycle is of 4 beats, sometimes the cycle is of 10 beats, sometimes the cycle is of 16 beats. The one that I am demonstrating today is of 16 beats, and it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 and goes up to 16. Let us say again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can double the melodic pattern, and it gives us a different variation. I can triple the melodic pattern. I can reverse it also, make it less than the normal speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that also we can go. We can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can say that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's another pattern. So there are innumerable patterns. The musicians and the composers and the instrumentalists, mostly the percussionists who play these rhythms, they are able to improvise. And also there is so much of mathematics involved here, because there are divisions, subtractions, fractions that the percussionists use and play and make the entire musical performance so enjoyable. Now the other aspect, a third aspect, which is why the rhythm is so important, is because certain phrases get meaning by delaying it in this time cycle, or by prolonging the expression of it in this time cycle. Let me again give you an example of a simple bandish. A bandish is let us say a string of words, or a poem, or a lyric composed within a structure of a time cycle called the tala, and because it binds it, we call it a bandish. You probably have heard of this bandish called Albela Sajanu Ayore. Everyone knows about this bandish. Albela Sajan Ayore, Albela Sajan Ayore, Mora Man Ati Sukh Paore Albela. I'm starting the song from the 7th beat. Okay, if I don't start it from the 7th beat, start it from the exact 9th beat, which is of course a beat. 7th is slightly off beat. Say it is a rhythmic cycle of 16 divided into 4. So 4, then 8, then 12, then 16. These are the divisions. So if I start it at 1 or 5 or 9 or 11 or 13, that will make it a very symmetrical pattern. Let me explain by singing. Sa sa re ga 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 re sa. This is starting on the beat. Similarly, alabela sajan aao re, alabela sajan aao re, alabela sajan aao. If you go straight on the rhythm and follow the beats, this is how it will sound. Alabela sajan aao re, alabela sajan aao re, alabela sajan aao re, alabela. If I start a little bit before the beat, then it makes it so much more expressive, and that is the license, and that is the poetic license or the creative license the musicians can use. Start a little bit before the beat, start a little bit after the beat, prolong it, make it more pleasing, give it a challenge so the audience gets the thrill of the composition, and then the entire musical journey becomes so expressive and so enjoyable. Alabela sajan aayo re, alabela sajan aayo re, alabela sajan aayo, alabela sajan aayo re, mora man ati sukh pao, mora man ati sukh pao re, alabela sajan aao re. Then there are certain rhythmic cycles which don't have this symmetrical pattern. They are asymmetrical cycles also, and that gives a different type of emotional satisfaction when you hear those compositions. But more about these compositions in another episode. Today I will only talk about the importance of use of rhythm. So first of all, I said it provides us with a fundamental structure around which we can weave our melody. Secondly, it gives us the freedom to weave around the tala, to weave around the matras, to weave around the rhythmic pattern, so that we can improvise and we can create, and this together makes the musical journey or the musical experience very enjoyable. And then the importance of the importance of rhythm in music is also because it gives certain, when the composers are making a group composition or an ensemble, then they would make this as the framework. The regulated entrances of the certain pieces and the exits of certain pieces, all these are interwoven or structured around the rhythmic pattern. If there were no rhythmic patterns, this type of composition or orchestrations would become very difficult. So the pleasure of listening to an ensemble, especially of percussion instruments, when you listen to a tal vadya kacheri or when you listen to a group of instrumentalists playing, the use of rhythm is of utmost importance in our music. And this tala or the rhythm dates back to ancient traditions in our music. Bharat Muni mentions about this first in his Natya Shastra, and this all evolves from the traditions and the practices that were prevalent during the ancient times, and gradually they evolved through the musical patterns and through the musical evolution of our country. So that's all for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. More about Indian classical music and little known facts about Indian classical music in my next episode. Stay tuned, stay well, stay happy and stay peaceful. Bye bye.